I'd like to welcome you, the students of the Academy of Fine Arts of Nuremberg, to the show Printing Miiverse. It's a show presenting 172 artists from inside the Nintendo network called Miiverse. And all they do is drawing little black and white drawings, and you see them all around today. In total, it's 13,255 drawings. I know this exactly because I captured them all from the Miiverse and then rearranged them in the Photoshop software to these, as we call it, grids, like ein Schachbrett. They're arranged up to 250 of small drawings, like you can see here. These are 250 drawings. And on some other grids we blew them up a bit, and so it's maybe 100. And on the upper line you see, as we call, standalones, since it's one drawing just blown up to a meter. The whole idea of doing it, well, I got the idea of doing it when I saw that different art styles really got into development by certain artists. So they didn't really draw exactly the same, but some figured out how to use the stylus of this drawing pad so exactly that you can actually copy photos. Some other guys did refer to the iconic figures of the Nintendo games, like they drew Super Mario or some other stuff. And other people, they drew funny political stuff, so it was a huge variety. And then I saw a drawing where someone asked, when will be the first book on Miiverse art? And when I saw this drawing, I thought to myself, now we gotta do a show on it, since if even those gamer guys ask themselves, this is art and it needs to be published in a book, then it's for us the signal to start a show on it. So maybe the first thing you should try is how to actually draw. So that's why we have this Nintendo consoles here. They are actually used to produce these drawings. And for me it was necessary to have them here, since visitors can only then experience how hard it actually is to produce such sophisticated drawings as they are seen here today. So maybe you can just walk over there, and first I show you how to draw. So you have, like you do have in Facebook, everybody has a user account, and in this user account you can go to certain communities. Those communities are related to the Nintendo games, of course. But that doesn't mean that the guys inside of the communities all the time refer to the topics mentioned in the game. Let's see maybe this community, and then you see all the time drawings are published. So this is 2 minutes old, this is 7 minutes old, 8 minutes. This is, I'm quite surprised. Usually it's coming much more faster, but probably in Europe now it's too early. So not so many drawings are published right now, but it's still a lot. And then you hit post, and then you can either draw a text or draw. And it's very minimalistic. You only get 3 sizes of your pen. So this is the biggest one, middle one, and the smallest one. Meanwhile, everybody's simply using the smallest one, since this gives you the most precise tool to actually do your drawing. And then you got an eraser, 3 sizes again, and a delete button. Yeah, that's basically it. And with this very minimalistic tool, people got into such a degree of skill that they drew gray Flächen. Wie heißt Fläche? No, areas, gray areas. And you can see it in this pic from Oxlars. It looks gray, but it actually is one pixel near the other, like you have it on a chessboard. And you can imagine how much time it takes. But this is still a simple gray. Some other users figured out how to produce different kinds of gray. You will see it in the next room. But in this room, I wanted to show pictures that refer in a way to the process of drawing itself. Like here, Ben explaining how to do this simple gray. So you see here, when you zoom in, then gray is actually a checkerboard or a chessboard. And how to do it, so the process of doing it, like you have to do diagonals and then correct them. And this is so nice, it can be hard at first. I mean, it takes you hours. This picture here is maybe 10 hours. And so some guys leave it on all over the night and then continue the next day, because you cannot save your drawing. Yeah, another picture that I like really much is over there from McNasty. Also referring to the process of drawing, and I like the difference between analog and digital look like, since it does look like a hand drawing, and the girl featured actually holds up a hand drawing, but everything, or how it is to be done, has not so much to do with the hand drawing. Yeah, and over there in the other corner, you see how to start and how to get it more precise. So you got 3 of these part containers. It is an item from a game, but here it's more like an object, a tutorial object. Yeah. And another really nice picture is over here, saying, I have no patience for the pixel perfect approach. So it's a user that actually did this gray already and then quitted it and said, no, I have to do something different. Drowsy Badger, and he actually did that drawing I mentioned earlier, when is the first book published on Miiverse art. And how far you can go in photorealistic terms, you see here, it's actually a Photoshop image copied to the gamepad. Alright, this should be maybe enough. So you're free to draw if you want, just to get an impression before we start our work. Also wir wählen einfach eine Community aus und dann gehen wir auf Posten und dann erscheinen die Genau, also an der Rückseite findet ihr den Stylus. Also der ist halt auch einer, der hier mitmacht und er hat sich auch bedankt. Also dann hier Printing Miiverse, so heißt die Ausstellung. Und das ist halt mein Avatar, der zockt hat hier so eine reinlaufende Gameplay dahin und das ist halt schon cool.
Das ist schon extrem cool.
Also es sind ganz viele momentan im Umlauf, weil halt ganz viele hier auch dabei sind.
Ja.
Und weil es auch so die Besten sind aus dem Miiverse, sind die auch immer in diesen Top 10 quasi. Dementsprechend hat es eine Aufmerksamkeit bekommen.
Und diese ganzen Yes, die verhalten sich untereinander bei
Ja, das ist halt wie bei Facebook die Likes. Genau. Und das sind halt dann die Kommentare und hier sind halt die Yes.
Und die Kommentare können Sie auch sehen.
Ja, klar. Einfach kannst du so runterziehen. Yeah, okay, so this is another nice pic. It's an optical illusion and from a guy called Chris. And you can all see it works. But more funny stuff is how people inside this community react to the drawings of other ones. So on the standalone above it, you see a guy called Moon Money, and he drew a pic about Chris here and another guy called Wolf. He's here. And those two guys are the ones who, as Moon Money says, are drawing straight lines. And they appear here in this upper picture as two Jedi masters, having a stick and a coat and a signum with a wolf on it, and the stick is actually the stylus where they draw this. And Chris is coming down to a new one, a new guy in this community, and asking him in a more or less rude way, so you want to draw straight lines? Because drawing straight lines at the time published in January was still quite avant-gardistic. And Wolf and Chris were the only guys who drew it all day. And I think this is funny. So the most funny thing, he actually is drawing onto Wolf. So he's giving a trial, a test of how to do it, but does it in such a euphoric manner that he actually is drawing onto his colleague. Yeah, on this grid you see many of their works. So it's actually everything is straight lines, or at least patterns in a way. Sometimes those patterns appear in an actual, in einer figürlichen Sache, here in a laser sword, but usually they just keep inside of patterns. Yeah. So this is one of those art traits that developed. So a really minimalistic, formalistic, pattern-based way of drawing. And being able to draw pixel exact, you can do other stuff, like copying the environment of the drawings themselves. So Nude here copied how a published drawing will look like and gave herself 5,000 years, which is like in Facebook the likes here, it's the currency of the Miiverse is in years. But that's just a joke nearby. On the outskirts of the drawing. The more fascinating thing is how they copy it and actually reproduce the environment of drawing. So then another interesting pic is here from a guy called Machine 3K. He developed a procedure of how to use different shades of gray. So he divided everything into a smaller grid of 25 pixels and then put the pixel inside those 25 grid to get to several squares with a different color or different black and different white. So, and this, when you step back, then you see it works. So here's much more shades of gray than we have seen in the first room. So being able to develop such kinds of shading means that you really have to think about the options that this platform Miiverse gives you. So they are not just doodlers, they are not just doing drawings, but they really get into the material of how to work. And this guy, especially, he's called Pixel Eater, and that name really makes sense because he's a guy that helped me a lot when it was about to blow these little pictures up. You see, every picture has got 300 pixels, 320 pixels to 120 pixels, so this is really, it's a joke, it's really almost nothing. And blowing it up to a meter usually means that it gets blurry. And so Pixel Eater and me, we figured out how to do it, whereas I listened to him and he figured it out. He said in Texas on Photoshop and I said in Nuremberg at Photoshop, and then he said, okay, we gotta use it like that, and now try this, and gave me step by step, and then after maybe fourth day it worked, and then I knew, okay, we can do this show in this kind of way. We are already doing it now, because just stretching it would have ruined every drawing. So in the end, you see, the guys here in the show, they're not just doing drawings, but they really think and really reflect of how to use it. And how it's actually been used then, for me, is really secondary. But the most astonishing thing is that this Miiverse community does work like any art community. And it develops certain traits, it develops new procedures, and yeah, that's the whole thing about this exhibition.